Hey, Jonathan Perry with Perry Law Firm Estate Planning for everyone. Wanted to do a video on what is a usufruct. A usufruct is a term that a lot of people hear. It's unique to Louisiana. It's unique to the Napoleonic law that we have here in Louisiana, different from the other 49 states which use common law. Okay, usufruct literally is a Latin term which means use of fruit. It often applies that if you have usufruct, you have full use of something, whether that's a home, whether it's land. So in practical standpoints, or real world standpoints, I should say, how is that applied? So a lot of times people will donate land, they'll donate a home, they'll donate property, and they'll reserve the usufruct. Now why? Because if it's a homestead and they reserve the usufruct, it's basically protecting them, that they're going to be able to stay there, they're going to have use of that home, that residence, that dwelling for the rest of their life, or until they give the usufruct up. Okay, when you're dealing with a lot of times acreage or farmland, people will donate and reserve usufruct because the usufruct entitles them to the fruits of the land. So if it's farmland, sugarcane field, rice field, they can donate that to children or whoever the case may be, reserve usufruct, and those checks, which are the fruits of the land, would go to them. Now I got another video, you need to be very careful and go check that out because that can hurt you for Medicaid issues, but I'm not going to cover that in this video. Go and check that one out. So again, the usufruct will allow someone to have use of it and benefits from it, whether that's financial or just actually sitting there in the residence for the duration of their life. Oftentimes you will see a usufruct come into play if a married couple, one of the spouses passes away, but they didn't have a will. And so basically the laws of Louisiana say if you're a married couple, you didn't do a will, if one of you should pass away, by law, the surviving spouse will have a usufruct over the deceased spouse's one half of the community for the duration of their life or until they remarry, depending on the situation. The kids, if there's some, they'll get naked ownership of the deceased spouse, deceased parents' one half of the community, but because there was no will, automatically the surviving spouse gets a usufruct over it. So that's a lot of times we see that, but I just wanted to give you some information on exactly what a usufruct is, how it's used. It's very beneficial, but at the same time, on Medicaid issues, you need to be very careful on that and check out the video that addresses that. I hope this helps and gives you some really good information. Thanks.